You're 22 years old, and the man sitting across from you in your family's living room is wearing a watch that costs more than your entire street. Your mother has served tea 3 times already. Your father keeps refilling his cup before it's empty. You've never seen your father nervous before. That detail should have told you everything. The sheikh is not here to court you. He's here to inspect you. He asks your age, whether you are healthy, whether you come from a good family. His eyes move over you the way a jeweler moves over a stone. Not with desire, but with assessment. Can she do the job? You don't know yet what the job is. 2 weeks later, you are married. The ceremony is quiet for a man of his wealth. No celebration, no party. A contract signed, a mar transferred, and a car waiting outside your parents' gate. Your mother holds you at the door for a long time. Your father doesn't come outside. He has already gone back inside, counting something. You don't understand that. Yet, you will. The compound sits behind walls in a part of the city that doesn't appear on tourist maps. 3 villas, same architect, same gates, same guards who stand like furniture and watch everything with the same blank professional patience. Each villa belongs to a wife. You are placed in the 3rd. The other 2 wives don't visit. You learn about them the way you learn about weather, by its effects, not its face. Wife 1 has been here since the sheikh was 24. She is his first love. People say it like it explains everything, like love is a currency that doesn't depreciate. She has 3 daughters, beautiful girls, sharp eyes. She has run this household for a decade the way generals run campaigns, with patience, intelligence, and 0 sentimentality. She does not hate you personally. She hates what you represent. And those are very different things. Wife 2 is his aunt's daughter. Family obligation dressed up as marriage. She also has daughters, 2 of them. She is quieter than wife 1, softer, more resigned. She sends you a fruit basket on your first week. No note, just fruit. It is the kindest gesture anyone makes toward you for a very long time. The compound staff explain the rules without being asked. Meals are not shared. Gardens are not shared. The sheikh rotates his nights according to a schedule managed by his personal secretary the way a board meeting is managed. You are on the calendar. You are an appointment. That's when the first cold thing lands in your chest and starts to settle. By month 2, you understand why you're here, not because anyone tells you. They don't need to. You hear it in the way the older maids talk about the sheikh's father and his father's father, and the line of sons that built this family's name into something that means power and means money and means fear in certain Gulf circles. 5 daughters between 2 wives. 5. Every one of them loved. You believe that. You do. But not one of them the right gender for what this family needs from its blood. You are the solution, the 3rd attempt, and the entire household knows it except you, until now. The sheikh visits more regularly in those early months. He is not cruel. That almost makes it worse. He is distant in the way expensive hotels are distant. Everything provided, nothing personal. He asks after your health with the diligence of a man monitoring a process. You are a process. You tell yourself this isn't what it looks like. You tell yourself he will come to know you. You tell yourself things that the marble walls and the locked gates already know aren't true. 3 months in, you meet Thomas and Claire. They are European. He works in finance, she in design. They live in the same city on an expat contract, friends of a friend at a function you are allowed to attend because it is the right kind of function. Curated, controlled, no press. They have no children. That is the first thing Claire tells you, not as a complaint, more as a fact she has made peace with the way you make peace with weather. They have been trying for years. It hasn't happened. There is a sadness in it that she carries lightly, the way brave people carry heavy things. You like them immediately. There is something about people who have survived disappointment without becoming hard that draws you in. You meet 3 more times over the following months, always in controlled settings, always with the sheikh's awareness, because everything in your life requires his awareness. You don't know yet why this friendship will matter, but some part of you, the part that is still paying attention, files them away like something important. Month 7. You are pregnant. The compound shifts like a building in a tremor, not dramatically, just enough to notice. The sheikh visits every night for a week. Wife 1 stops sending her housekeeper on the small errands that always ended up near your villa. Wife 2's fruit baskets stop entirely. You feel for the first time like you might be safe, like the locked gates are protection rather than prison, like the process you've been enrolled in might end with you on the right side of it. You are wrong about all of this, but you won't know that for 8 more months. A daughter. She arrives at 3 a.m., healthy, loud, perfect in every way that does not matter in this household. The sheikh comes to see her once. He holds her for 4 minutes. You count. He hands her back to you and leaves without saying anything about coming back. He doesn't come back. Not that night, not the next, not that week. The schedule, the calendar, the appointments stops including your villa. Your mahar has been paid. Your function has been performed. The result was the wrong gender. And in this world, a wrong result means the contract is quietly, completely finished. You sit in your villa with your daughter and you listen to the compound breathe around you, the guards, the gates, the other villas glowing at night. And you understand, in the way you can only understand something once it has already happened to you, that you were never a wife. You were a wager. Month 11. A 4th woman arrives. You learn about her the way you learn about everything here. Through the staff, through silence, through the small tremors the compound makes when something changes. She is young, 20, maybe less. She comes from a good family, they say, as if that phrase has ever meant what it sounds like. Her villa is being prepared on the far side of the compound. The sheikh's secretary circulates a new set of household rules that mention, in careful legal language, that her marriage is conditional. A son within 2 years, and the marriage is permanent. No son, and she receives a settlement and leaves. A contract wife, even more honest than what you were. At least she knows the terms up front. You look at your daughter sleeping and you think, she is going to grow up watching this. She is going to learn from this house that women are problems to be solved and solutions to be discarded. That thought breaks something open in you, not loudly, quietly, the way important things break. Month 12. A call from home. Your mother, voice thin and careful, tells you your parents will not be visiting. Your father has decided it is better this way. Better for the family. Better for your brother. Your brother? You ask one question and the silence on the other end tells you the answer before your mother says a word. Your father took money from the sheikh, not a dowry. You knew about that. Something before that. A debt. Your brother's education. A loan that became a different kind of arrangement when a solution was needed for the sheikh's problem. You were the arrangement. Your mother starts crying before she can explain more. Your father picks up the phone and says your name in the flat and finished way people say things they have already made peace with. He says you are taken care of. He says your daughter will want for nothing. He says these things like they mean something. You hang up. Your daughter is on the rug in front of you, batting at a mobile of small silver stars. She doesn't know that her grandfather sold her mother to pay for her uncle's future. She doesn't know anything yet. You look at her and you think, she won't know this life. She won't. That becomes the only thought that matters. Month 14. You start to plan, not dramatically. There is no dramatic planning here. There is only the careful, patient accumulation of small, useful things. You learn the guard rotation, not by watching the guards. They watch back. You learn it through your daughter's feeding schedule, which wakes you at hours that happen to correspond with the gaps between rounds. 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. 20-minute windows. You count them for 6 weeks before you trust the count. The tiger is the problem no schedule solves. The sheikh keeps it the way men like him keep things, to demonstrate that they can. It lives in a handler's care at the edge of the compound, and it is brought out on a chain for guests the way art is brought out to impress. But the handler is the thing you study, where he goes, when the tiger is secured, which nights the chain goes back on before midnight. You call Claire on a phone you borrow from the kitchen maid, a woman who has been kind to you and who you have been carefully, quietly kind to in return. You call Claire and you don't explain everything. You explain enough. Claire doesn't ask questions. That is how you know she understands. She says, "Tell us when." Month 15. The night you choose is a Thursday. The sheikh is in another emirate. The contract wife has a visitor, her own family, approved, formal, which means the compound's attention is redistributed. The tiger handler takes his dinner early on Thursdays. You know this because his assistant told the kitchen, and the kitchen told you without meaning to. You dress your daughter in the warmest thing she owns. You write a letter to no one in particular, not to the sheikh, not to your parents, not to the wives who never chose to know you. Just a letter that says she is loved and she is going somewhere safe, and she deserves a life that is entirely her own. You fold it into her blanket. The kitchen maid opens the service door without saying anything. She closes it behind you without saying anything. Some debts are paid in silence. The gap between the eastern wall and the service road is exactly as wide as you measured. Your daughter doesn't cry. She watches your face with the absolute trust that children give their mothers before they are old enough to know that trust is not always safe. Claire is parked 3 streets away. You hand your daughter to her through the car window. You hold her face for a long moment. She reaches for your nose the way she always does, that small grabbing gesture that means you. You let her grab it one more time. Then you close the window. You watch the car until the dark takes it. You turn back toward the compound. Because if you run now, they will look for you and they will find you and they will find her. But if you go back, they will think she was taken, not given. They will look in the wrong direction for long enough. You go back. They find you at the service door. Of course they do. The questions come fast and then they stop. The sheikh returns by morning. He stands in your villa and looks at you with something that might have been respect if it weren't arriving too late and in the wrong circumstances. He asks once where she is. You look at him the way you have learned to look at things that cannot hurt you anymore. You say, somewhere you will never find her. They never find her. Thomas and Claire take her somewhere quiet and northern where the winters are long and honest, and no one asks about origins, and a child can grow up learning to trust that the world will not suddenly rearrange itself according to someone else's needs. She will be told the truth when she is old enough. About her mother, about the compound, about the silver mobile and the Thursday night and the woman who held her face and let her go. She will grow up knowing she was loved by someone who made the most deliberate choice love can make. That is more than most people get. That is everything.